Hello, my name is Dick Noel, and in the past few months I have made and uploaded 2 videos to YouTube about the subject of an afterlife. The first video was entitled Afterlife and Faith, No Testimony, and the second one was entitled simply Afterlife Reality. Those 2 video messages were primarily the result of hours of research of near-death experiences, shared near-death experiences, various religious beliefs, as well as my own personal experiences. The most important conclusion that I reached after all my research, which included the serious study of 7 related books, is that there is an afterlife. Exactly what that afterlife will be specifically for each one of us is still an unknown. But we have had some clues from people who have had a near-death experience or a shared near-death experience, or who have directly communicated with deceased loved ones. In this video, I would like to talk for just 10 minutes about the broader subject of the meaning of life. I do not claim any particular expertise on this subject, and most of what I want to say is again a result of many hours of research as well as thoughts about my own personal experiences. I again admit up front that I am not an expert on this subject, and I have never had any formal religious training or religious education. My educational background was primarily a business-oriented one, with a Bachelor of Arts and an MBA from Dartmouth College. However, when one gets over the 80-year-old mark like I have, one starts to think more about the meaning of life. My hope is that what I talk about in this video might be helpful in any future discussions viewers might have on this very, very important subject. Again, I am just an 82-year-old retired community banker, a past part-time adjunct college professor, and a part-time writer of various magazine articles. I have 2 daughters and 1 son, and 2 grandsons who are both in college. My beloved wife of 55 years, Chris, passed away last year on December 15, 2019, and since her death I have given a lot of thought as to what her future may hold, and also what the future may hold for the rest of my family and my friends when they pass away. So here are Dick's Noel's thoughts on the meaning of life. Life on this planet is the ultimate mystery. Why did God create us, and what is our purpose for being here? Our time here is so very limited when we think about the age of the planet or the age of the universe. Whether we live 1 year or 10 years or 50 years or even 100 years, our lifespans are just a speck in the life of the planet or the universe. And again, what does God expect of us during our brief lifetimes here on Earth? And perhaps the more important question is, what will happen after our life on this planet ends? Most people, I am confident, understand and believe that we all have both a physical body and a soul. And I think most people want to believe that the soul moves on to a heavenly realm after the physical body ceases to function. The critical question for all of us is, I think, will this happen regardless of what transpires here during our lifetime on Earth? Or do we need to somehow earn our way into a heavenly realm? The answer is still an unknown, although many people who have had near-death experiences have said that God is benevolent and a forgiving creator who takes in all who ask for his heavenly kingdom. I believe God's most important and critical gift to all human beings is the gift of free will. I believe God gives us that decision-making ability and then watches as we go through life exercising that free will. Sometimes we make good choices and sometimes we make bad choices. And I believe deep down, when we make our decisions, we know whether they are good or bad. Many of the bad decisions that have been made by human beings have led to consequences involving pain and suffering and even death. Such consequences include things like child abuse, rape, torture, sex trafficking, serial killings, school shootings, assassinations, the Holocaust, war, and on and on. Thousands or more innocent people have their lifespans cut short through no fault of their own, including innocent young children, such as those in the senseless school shootings. We ask, why does God allow these innocent victims to die so prematurely? And again, what if many of these premature deaths are the result of direct free will decisions, such as serial killers choosing to take multiple innocent lives? What happens to the souls of the innocent victims? And what happens to the souls of the individuals who make such horrifically bad decisions? I firmly believe that all innocent victims of bad free will decisions, as well as the innocent victims of natural disasters like hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, and so on, I think they all have their souls taken by God directly into his heavenly kingdom. No other answer makes any sense to me. But there are still the unanswered questions of those of us who do not have their lives cut short prematurely. What is our purpose for being here? What is expected of us? What does God want of us? How can we please him? And again, do we have to earn our way into his heavenly kingdom? I think the answer again revolves around the use of free will. God has told us what he wants from us, to love him and to love our neighbors as ourselves. This message is eternal and will never change. We all have the free will to do this, and we have countless opportunities to do it. And of course, God is always there to assist should we call out for his help. God knows that going through life is never going to be easy. I firmly believe he created an imperfect world to challenge us on the use of the free will decision-making ability he gave us. He could have created all perfect human beings and a perfect disaster-free planet, but he didn't. And he didn't, I believe, for a reason. He wants to see how his created human beings choose to live in an imperfect world and how they treat their fellow human beings during their lifetimes, regardless of how long those lifetimes may be. And also how they respond to natural disasters and horrific free will decisions and other challenges, as well as how they treat the health and natural beauty of God's planet Earth. People who have had near-death experiences have seen a complete review of how they have responded to the challenges faced them during their lifetimes, and they get to judge themselves on how well they did. Will there be a next time to try again to meet another lifetime of challenges? Is there a possibility of reincarnation? We don't know. Perhaps that is one of God's choices for certain individuals when life on this planet Earth ends. One important thing to realize is that God is the ultimate judge of what we have done during our brief lifetimes here on Earth. I believe his ultimate goal for all human beings is for us to evolve into a being of unconditional love. For most of us, unlike a saint like Mother Teresa, it might take more than one lifetime of effort. We fail many times on the road to unconditional love, but we must keep trying. God is constantly watching our efforts. And if we honestly keep trying, I believe he will forgive our trespasses along the way, especially if we ask for that forgiveness. I believe God monitors how we treat both our family members first and then how we treat needy individuals outside our families. All of us have challenges within our families, sometimes birth defect issues, sometimes accident issues, sometimes physical or mental illness issues, and on. But we must never confine our lifetime efforts to only our immediate family members. We must always try to do something to help those in need outside our families. God watches all our efforts, and I believe his light shines brightest when he sees us doing meaningful work for the benefit of all mankind. Some of us wonder, if we get to heaven, what will be our purpose there? What will God want us to do there? Of course, we don't know, and in my view, that is something not to be concerned about. Maybe we'll be assigned as guardian angels. Maybe we will sing in a heavenly choir. Maybe we will serve as educators or greeters for newcomers who enter heaven after us. Or maybe some of us will be sent back to earth through reincarnation to spend more needed time to evolve into a more complete being of unconditional love. One of the most disappointing YouTube videos I have ever watched is one of a California college professor who is one of those intelligent human beings who is not a believer and feels when his time is up, he simply hopes it will end peacefully without pain. When asked if it turns out that heaven as described by near-death experiencers is real, he feels if he ended up there he would probably be bored. Wow. I feel perhaps he needs reincarnation as a struggling rice field worker in a poor undeveloped region of God's planet. Most of the rest of us, I believe, have faith in God's judgment as to what will be his best choice for our soul's future, and we look forward with hope to be able to eternally serve him in his realm of eternal peace and joy. Thank you for watching my video, and may God bless you and your families.